Hello and welcome to another Life in Lockdown series with me, Michelle Hammond. I'm absolutely delighted today to be joined by the beautiful Beata Aleksandrowicz of the Aleksandrowicz System. Hello, Beata, and thank you for joining me.
Hello, Michelle, and thank you for having me here. This is such a great initiative. I am happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, it's beautiful to see you, and your skin is looking amazing and radiant as ever.
Thank you, thank you. I have a secret.
You have a secret I want you to tell us.
You want me to tell you straight away?
Yeah, to share your secret.
Yes, so you know, we need to walk our truth. Yes, this is how you say that in English.
Beautiful.
Walk your truth.
Yeah.
Yes, so I am, as you know, I specialize in massage and also in face massage. And I started during the lockdown classes, face massage with Beata classes twice a week.
See.
For everybody. So obviously I am massaging my face now on a regular basis. So here I am. It works. It really works.
Oh, can't you? You can really tell when somebody does it. I really need to join up for a class. So we'll put the details actually at the end of the video for anyone that wants to join in. Because actually, if I can have my eyes and skin looking as good as yours, I'm in.
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
And Sundays, 8 o'clock, half an hour only.
Fantastic.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you again for joining us. It's really amazing to have you with me. And I'm going to go through the questions. I know you've since sort of had a chance to kind of have a brief look at them, but just start with telling us a little bit more about you. I mean, obviously we know there that you specialize in kind of massage and sort of helping people understand how to use it, both for themselves and obviously in the workplace, and we'll delve a little bit more into that. But who are you? Tell me a little bit more about Beata, the lady behind the name.
Who am I? Yes. So I am Polish. I arrived to England 22 years ago, literally in my sandals, with little boy and then my husband. We just were traveling from Spain, and it was, we had visa still to come to UK, and it was just you know, very short notice decision to come here and to stay here. So we came here without anything. I had just few dresses from Spain, 3 years old son, and my artist husband, and that's it.
Amazing.
So we had to find school for our son and place to stay and live, and then we how you say that? Then we applied for residency here, so we couldn't leave England for several years. So we left basically everything behind us. Everything. I was probably missing mostly my books.
Yeah.
You know, my books, my little things, little gifts which I had from friends. But with time, you're learning. You're just starting from scratch. Yes, so this is from where I am. And who I am, you very nicely and kindly said already that it's Aleksandrowicz System. So yes, indeed, my expertise is in massage, in well-being, in healing. And this is what I do through my private practice, but also through my work with spas, through my trainings.
Amazing. Fantastic. And let's start off with kind of how you kick off a day. I mean, how to get yourself on the right foot and to set yourself up for success. What does a kind of good day start with for you?
Yes. So I really spent time, especially now during this lockdown. I have kind of half an hour in the morning. And if it means to wake up much earlier, I do that. And in this half an hour, it's a kind of meditation, but it's mostly about everything what I have rather than what I don't have.
Yeah.
And I really notice, Michelle, that if I do it every day and I am present and grateful for what is here, it makes such a big difference. Such a big difference. The energy is different. The perception of people and world and the situation is completely different. It's like reprogramming the mind.
Yeah.
So I would say that this is what I do religiously now, and it also keeps me in a much more positive mood.
And that's really powerful, isn't it? I think people always look for things that to make change that are complicated. And
Yes.
that simple ability to just reframe those thoughts, to hold gratitude for, as you say, exactly what you have, not what you want, but exactly what you have. Just, I think it's a bit like a magnet, isn't it? It kind of, you then attract that to you. You attract better to you, like-minded people, like-minded things, because you're in that mindset.
Absolutely, because with that mindset comes the vibration, energy. We are energy, so then you vibrate on a much higher frequencies. So then somehow you, absolutely right, you magnet much more positive outcomes and people and situations and events. It's really in our, I truly believe that it's in our power to create our days.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you cannot change environment, obviously, but you can change your attitude to environment. And then it's a completely different story.
Yeah, which is, well, I mean, and again, really powerful, beautiful way to start the day, isn't it? And that really empowering knowledge and sort of mindset. Amazing. What hobbies or interests do you have? So outside of all things massage and healing and well-being that we know you're also sort of a pioneer for, what other hobbies or interests kind of light you up, take your fancy?
Okay, so my passion is tango.
Ah, nice.
Yes, and I started tango this year, actually, but I was wanting to do that for very long time.
Yeah.
Finally, I did it, and I even said that 2020 will be my tango year.
Amazing.
And it started very well. I even bought my beautiful golden shoes, proper shoes to tango, and I was blown away from the first lesson, how deep this dance is, how complex, how much it is within my understanding, what kind of connections I want to have with people, because it's a very intimate dance. You dance so close with your partner, and it's total improvisation. We think about tango that it's very structured. It's not actually. You learn basic, but then every dance is different.
Amazing.
New partner, and you have to be totally in a present moment, totally here and now, because you don't know what will happen in next second. So you basically create the dance with every partner with whom you dance. And how they do that on milonga, that they keep you with the same partner for four tangos, for 4 pieces of music. So you have enough time to connect with that person, to discover that person, and to create something together. And then after 4, it's somebody else. But it's incredible. And then obviously lockdown came, so it stopped at the moment. But I will definitely come back to that. It's incredible.
Well, you know we're setting you up at the next spa event to show us, don't you? Now you've said it out loud to the whole world as well. You know we're waiting for a solo.
I will have my golden shoes with me all the time, in case.
Well, that sounds about, I think every girl should have a pair of golden shoes. Anyway, that's...
By the way, it's a secret. You know, we all have problem with high heels. These shoes never really comfortable, etc., etc. Buy only tango shoes. They are incredible. I bought them. They were completely new. When I wore them first time, I was dancing for 90 minutes. I didn't feel anything. And they are on high heels. They are soft like butter. This is incredible to wear them. I promised myself that I will never buy normal high heel shoes ever. I will only buy tango shoes from now on. They are so comfortable.
I love that. Inner secrets of comfort. That's what we all need. That we can go through the next conferences now with tango shoes.
Yes, especially on the conferences, 8 hours standing. Yes, very comfortable.
I love that. Insider tip. What makes you laugh? I mean, what really lights you up?
So, you know, everything actually. I think I have a quite good sense of humor and I like to laugh, but I have how to say that, I have my emergency, let's say, box with funny things, which helps me in a moment of feeling down, or when I need to iron, for example. When I need to iron, I really feel down.
I'm with you. I'm so with you.
I just do not like to do it. But there is one film which I don't know how many times I can watch that. It just make me laugh so much. And this is Producers, Mel Brooks, but the original version from 1968.
Okay.
I will not tell you more about it. It's completely absurd. It's absurd. It's this kind of, humor, which is just absurd humor, but played so well. So great film that I usually, when I iron, I watch it. But I have also, I don't know if I should say that, but I also have a little nuts and glass of whiskey. This is how I am ironing.
Love. Do you know, that's where I'm going wrong. Like, I can't bear ironing. I outsource any opportunity, or just buy clothes that don't need ironing. I hate it.
No.
You need to make it much more of an experience.
A bit of whiskey, a little bit of nuts, and the Producer, 1968. And believe me, you will love ironing. You will wait when it's next one. When it's...
I love it. That is the way. See, that's
another secret.
Yeah, that sounds like a brilliant way to get through.
And then you can iron with the Stago shoes on. You know what I mean?
Oh, fantastic!
Oh my God,
that's brilliant. Yeah, a whole new world's opening up now. I mean, when you do the Aleksandrowicz system, I mean, obviously you've got your own private practice, as you've said, and of course you're renowned for your focus around massage and healing and touch. Tell us a little bit about that system and why it's so important to you, with obviously what you do as a living, and how you focus on bringing that to life.
Yes, so this Aleksandrowicz system is actually a result of 23 years now, of working with people as a therapist myself, and understanding all challenges which therapists can have, because I had them and I still have them. I still see my clients in my private practice in London, sometimes many of them, not of the last 2 months, but before. So the Aleksandrowicz system is not only giving therapists tools and techniques which are injury-free, which prevent burnout, which are effective, which address, I would say, economy of the energy which is used. So management of that energy which is used by therapists. But it's also, it also addresses the way how therapists communicate, the way how therapists think about themselves, the way how therapists take care of themselves, because therapist is the tool itself. They use themselves to provide work. There is their physical presence, there is their mental presence, emotional presence. This is all what gives the experience for the client. So the training somehow has to cover all these aspects to be effective and to give therapists what therapists can use forever. So this was obviously work in progress for many, many years, because I am, as I told you, I am therapist, so I am still discovering new things. I am still in front of the new challenges. So then I'm trying to put that into training as well. And I think the basic of the training is to teach therapists how to love themselves, because this is like with any form of love. You can only give as much as you can experience yourself. And we don't want in spa this non-authentic way of being of therapist or receptionist, with this not necessarily authentic smile and politeness, but totally unpersonal politeness. So in order to achieve that, you need to connect with your resources inside you and that resources needs to be positive.
Yeah.
They need to be positive, that resources to be able to use them in a communication with somebody else. So that is why partly my training is also life coaching, which helps therapists to look differently at themselves.
Which is so important, isn't it? Because quite often, as you say, therapists are just taught what to do and how to do it.
Yes.
And not taught how to pull onto those resources, how to really use themselves, but how to,
Yes.
to realize the value they bring and the gift they have.
Yeah.
And that's obviously
exactly. And this is psychology. You know,
yeah.
you cannot do that in the normal training syllabus. You can't. It's a psychology, it's a process, which is not always understood by spas, because spas get too used to fast trainings, half day, 5 hours, 7 hours. And I'm always saying, if you want to transform your therapies, there is time involved in that. It's just like nobody become musician within 5 hours. It's not possible. You can learn the notes, but nothing valuable out from that. So it unfortunately or fortunately, it requires time. And some people understand that.
I think by elevating massage as you do into people realizing it's a real profession and something they can become a master at and have a long career at, makes people realize a commitment to lifelong learning then doesn't seem so daunted. But when people think it's a short-lived career and they've got to flip over quickly and move into management or training or something different, then of course they think, you know, short-term training and whatnot. But realizing that actually this is a long-term career and that long-term investment into yourself. And as you say, you know, those of us that have been in our industries sort of long-term, we're all learning. We're all still learning and evolving now, and that's really important.
Yes,
what is it you love most about?
Constant investment. I agree with you. The investment, and it's continuous investment. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, absolutely important. What do you love most about what you do?
Wow, it will sound very pompous probably, but this is how I feel, that element of transformation. That through my work I can provide therapists with transformation. So from sometimes not very self-aware technician, the therapist become fully committed being who understands that this is not the job, it's a lifestyle. It's a, like you said, commitment, decision, choice. And because I know if this will happen, then the quality of work will be completely different. So I said that this is what I like the most, to see that change.
That's a real gift, isn't it?
I love to witness that. Then I feel, yes, my work was done.
Yeah, amazing. Challenges you, Beata? What are the areas of kind of what you have to do that you either struggle with or are challenged by the most?
So would be two things. One is practical and one is deeper. So I start from the second one. I think still lack of understanding in general from the spa industry of importance of training. Continuous training. It's not that you have therapist comes after college and it's fine, it's done. No, because they, as I said, they are their tools. So if they don't develop, the treatment is in decrease.
Absolutely.
Regarding the quality. So this lack of understanding that they are the core of the spa. Without them, spa is not existing. So they are the first one that needs to be taken in account, invest in, and giving the opportunity to that grow. So this is my frustration. But on a practical level, admin. I hate admin. I hate admin. I hate graphs and charts and everything what I have to do, these emails and no.
I think many of us feel your pain.
No, and the remembering all these logistics, and gosh, no,
Yeah.
I am really suffering with
When you get sort of stressed or angry or upset, what do you do? How do you change that state or work through emotions like that?
In the past, it was difficult for me to manage them. I think I didn't have enough emotional education to know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I could feel overwhelmed by them, and then I was making wrong decisions, wrong choices. But now I think I am much better. In a funny way, I would say that I have a kind of monologue with myself in the moments like that. Depends how I feel in that spectrum. So I would really connect with myself. I would connect with myself and ask myself, Beata, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Just take a deep breath. Just breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. Put yourself together. Go and do it, woman.
Yeah, absolutely. That monologue's great. If you've got it trained to kind of be positive and constructive, it could
Of
be
course.
really,
Of course. So do you have 2 legs? Yes. Do you have 2 hands? Yes. So stop moaning. Go and do it.
Yeah, perspective. Love it. Okay, listen, new hobby. You could do anything. No time or resource or money restrictions. You could go do anything you'd want to do. What would it be?
One would be pottery.
Okay, nice.
This is something what is on my list for so long, and I tried last year in Maldives, and it was incredible. I did it for the first time in my life, and I couldn't believe I had this piece of how to say that in English?
Yeah.
Clay. I had this piece of clay, and then it's speeding, and only because of movement of my hands, I created beautiful object. Actually, I will show you that object. I have it here.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
that.
wow,
This
amazing.
is my first one. Oh,
I was expecting that to be something like my 5-year-old would show me. That's really good.
my first one.
That's amazing.
Yes. So I was amazed that we can do it with our hands, and that actually every movement matters. We sometimes live our life without that awareness that what we say, what we do really impact others. And I feel that in pottery, that every movement matters. You move a little bit your finger, you have completely different shape.
Yeah.
So again, it requires that being in a present moment, like with tango.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this would be probably one, and second would be probably book binding. This is how you say in English? Yes,
Yeah.
binding with all the leather, and cutting the leather, and then sewing that together, and going through that process. I'm coming from country when we were poor. So, for example, we never were making notes in books. Books were too precious for that. Even with pencil, you were just not doing that. When we were going to school, we were giving our books to younger pupils. So sometimes the same book was going through 3-4 classes. Wow. So you had to keep it really in a good shape. Yeah. I love smell of books. I can open the book and just, people use drugs. I can have a book. I just love the paper, and it's so sensual and complex in the same time. So this would be probably my two hobbies, new hobbies.
Amazing. I'm loving that. But again, it just proves how much your hands drive.
Yes, of course.
Touch.
Yes.
Yeah. You go anywhere in the world where you haven't been. Where are you going?
I would go to Bhutan.
Okay.
This is again my list. It's on my list. And with me and travels, it's very strange thing, because I don't have to really know about the place. I just feel that I have to go there. Okay. Like last year, I went to Nepal to study singing bowls, Tibetan singing bowls.
I remember seeing about that, yeah.
Now. And it was, I just felt I had to do that. And it never disappoints me. If I follow that, it's always, it always shows that it was right choice. So this is what I have with Bhutan. I would love to go to Bhutan, and I will.
Amazing. Yeah, I think we've all got kind of like these lists coming up ready for life out of lockdown, and kind of where we sort of want to go. And actually, I think now is the time, especially when you've gone through something like this, where you've been restricted, to suddenly think actually those places that have felt like somewhere you should go need to kind of probably be brought forward, don't they, as well?
And another option will be just to take a van for 3 months and just travel, even all over the Europe. There is so many places in Europe which I don't know.
Yeah.
And we sometimes don't see, so it's very close. But this would have to be in a kind of camper van.
Yes.
And with the men.
Yes, of course.
And I tell you about that man.
Oh.
I have a list. So snoring free.
I love it. Yeah, obviously always good. Sleep's too important.
Full developed communication skills.
Okay, that might be a bit ambitious. We're looking for a man. I'm only joking, all the men that's listening.
And absolutely overwhelmed by the fact that I agreed to travel with him.
Oh, I love that.
This is what I would do.
This is it. But that intention is now thrown out there, and I'm looking forward to getting a postcard saying we were here and learning more about him. And of course, he needs to be able to tango.
Obviously. This is obvious. I didn't even have to mention.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right, we're going to move into some quicker, fun flashbacks. Are you ready? Okay. Are you most typically early or late?
I am typically on time, but if I am on time, no, then I will be late.
I try, but I might not. What's the best single day on the calendar for you?
Every day.
That's
You decide.
Yeah, nice.
You decide if it's good day or bad day.
Yeah, absolutely. What website do you visit most often?
Recently, mine own website. Because I do these classes, face massage classes twice a week. It's new, and I have to take care of all admin and make sure that all emails are sent and receive all forms and everything. So yes, this is the website which I'm visiting the most at this.
You're now seeing it in your sleep. I can feel it. What keeps you up at night other than the website?
This is my worry, Michelle. What keeps me up, I am very worried about this distancing and about the fact that we start to be so scared of touch again. And I spent so many years to really encourage people to think about touch, about something positive, intentional, effective.
Yes.
So I am a little bit worried that all unsolved issues with touch will be put now into that problem which we have with the virus. And they might be people who just took that as an excuse to avoid that intimate contact through touch. And touch is the base. It's really a base. I believe that touch and everything what comes with experience of touch makes us humans.
Absolutely.
So I am personally worried about that.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And actually, Nigel and I were talking about that on our session the other day. And, as you say, touch is so critically important, not just to our industry, of which obviously it is, the spa industry is built, but human connection. I mean, as we know from birth or beyond, actually, from sort of fetal development.
This is first sense developed in embryo.
Absolutely, it's so critically important, and I'm with you. I'm worried that people will use this as a way to sterilize the whole experience, and think that they can still deliver an experience. We have to have that touch, because we don't know how profound that touch is to someone's mental and emotional well-being. Quite often, we have no idea of the benefit our touch gives to people. because they don't vocalize it to us, but they vocalize it with their internal dialogue, and they go off and make much better decisions because of that connection, don't they? And they definitely don't do that with disconnection.
And we know that children develop much better, those who are touched lovingly, intentionally. They develop the language much faster. They develop that emotional education within them, which allows them to go through life feeling strong, complete, powerful. So this really worries me.
Yeah,
this really worries me.
Yeah, well, as we say, I think we have to actively bang that drum and kind of make sure that this does not become an excuse to disconnect or overly sterile the experience. What would be your spirit animal? You could be any animal reincarnated, or the spirit of you is what?
Lion.
Ah, I can see.
And when I was in Africa, because I don't know if you know about it, I worked with Kalahari Bushmen for several years. I was initiated by shamans in Namibia and Botswana. So I spent lots of time with them. And I had encounters with lions in such a close proximity. This is how you say that?
Yeah.
That you wouldn't believe. The pictures which I have made from my mobile phone. So I think, and also I know quite a lot about them through my work with the shamans and Bushmen, especially the Bushmen. So they are definitely my animal.
Amazing. Love that. What's the furthest you've ever been away from home?
In dream or in reality? Dream, I was once on the moon and once on the sun. And it was incredible. In a real, I would say, Africa.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
You can go to your favorite restaurant. What are you ordering to eat and drink?
My favorite restaurant would be in Andalusia, in El Palmar Beach. The name would be Pájaro Loco. And the food would be fresh grilled prawns with garlic and parsley with a cold glass of fino.
Oh, I so want to be there right now. I can actually feel the beach and smell the sea.
This is the place.
Oh, yes, I have to say, that sounds good. That sounds good. What's your all-time favorite fragrance?
It's Frédéric Malle. This is the guy who opened his perfumery in Paris. And the idea was to bring different perfume makers together under one house that show them individually. So when you go to his store, you see pictures, portraits of the perfume makers, the story behind each perfume. So he really elevates the perfume makers to artists rather than somebody who is hired by big product house.
Okay, nice.
So these perfumes are very unique and my favorite.
Beautiful, amazing. I love the story behind that, incredible.
Yeah.
What's your must-read book, paper or magazine?
Books are changing all the time, but there is one book which stay with me through all my life, and this is Erich Maria Remarque book, the author, and the book is Arc of Triumph.
Okay.
It's incredible book. It's a book which takes place in Paris in 1939, just before the war starts. So you feel that changes in people. You feel that anxiety and uncertainty, but in the same time, there is amazing love story, obviously, of the very, how to say that, disciplined man who is refusing love, but that love is coming to him. And in the book is the moment when you can see how much that love transformed him and open him again. And it's said in the men language about men, using the vocabulary and the structures of the words, which is much more man than woman. You know, woman wouldn't necessarily say that way, but it's so beautiful and deep to see that change, that opening of this man in the light of war which is coming. Yet he's doing that, he's opening himself for that love. Beautiful.
Amazing. What's your favorite song at the moment to sing out loud to?
Okay, my favorite song is If Love Is Overrated, and it goes like that. If love is overrated, let me be the one who is naive. This is Gregory Porter. If you don't know Gregory Porter, you must know Gregory Porter. He is incredible. He's my singer #1 now, and that song especially, because in this song he also talks about love, that it's okay to be taken by love, it's okay to be passionate, you know, it's okay to be romantic, it's okay to open up. Yes, you might be hurt, there is the risk, but what is more important, to experience that or to stay in a shell, in the safe zone, without that wave of experiences which that vulnerability will bring. It's a beautiful song. I like it, and his voice is incredible.
I love that, and I'm going to have to go play it after you.
Do you know Gregory Porter?
You know him, yeah.
I know him, but yes, that song is this is new song. You will love it.
Sounds beautiful and very romantic. What's your favorite TV program at the moment? Are you kind of binge watching anything?
So I don't have TV. Let's start from that. I don't have TV, but I watch sometimes iPlayer. And I watched recently a film on iPlayer. It was series, I think, 4, Twin. It was Sweden, from Sweden.
Okay.
And I was so much involved in that story, and I love it because visually it was amazing, very beautiful. But the story was between 2 men, twin brothers, and that dynamic, there is tragic there happen, doesn't matter, I don't want to say, but you see how that tragic affects everybody in a different way. Yeah. And what I like about it, that there is no judgment, there is no right, wrong, not good character, bad character. We all do what we need to do, what we know to do. So yes, great film. I recommend that.
Yes, I must say, I think I've seen it. I think, yeah, it's kind of ringing true about, as like you, I won't go into the story, but yes, it's beautiful. What's your favourite film of all time? Is there something traditional or sort of long-term that you've kind of old value?
It is film, and I always said that if I would be capsuled once and catapult somewhere, I will take this film with me. It's Death in Venice.
Okay. This
is the film which is beyond any films I ever watched. Plus there is Gustav Mahler music in that, which I loved dearly. So the combination of this two, and the story itself, again, it's interesting because it's the same story of men who dares to feel, to experience.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes.
The thread. What irrational fears do you have?
You know, I believe that if fear is rational, it means there is something behind that rational fear. Maybe memory, maybe pattern, maybe belief, maybe collective belief, maybe So then once you look at that, it's not irrational anymore.
Yes.
So I don't know really if I have any irrational thoughts. I am definitely scared of Indian Ocean. This is sure. And each time when I fly over Indian Ocean, I have that moment, oh God, and now this plane will fall, and this Indian Ocean is the deepest ocean, so nobody will find me. Because it's the deepest one, and this will be, that's it of me. So, and I have that each time I fly over this Indian Ocean. So it must be somewhere in my psyche, probably memory of,
yeah,
or I don't know, or I was Robinson Crusoe maybe. In one of the previous lives, or but this it's definitely irrational. But each time when I fly over, I have the same monologue with myself. And now I will drop down and nobody will find me because it's the deepest ocean.
I love the fact that, you know, the story kind of details, isn't it? It's just kind of, it's not just about the ocean, there's a whole story of like what will happen sort of as you know, the ocean takes you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. How the mind works. Where's your favorite place to go to kind of really reconnect with yourself and kind of deeply relax?
This will also sound probably cheesy, but it's within me. That place is within me. If everything fails around and nothing works, I know that if I go deep into my heart, this is where my home is. This is where my beginning is. This is where safety is. So this is where I go.
I love that. And that has to be the kind of goal for everyone, doesn't it, really? For their safe place really to be within themselves. Incredible. Beautiful answer. You can only have one beauty product, going on from that really deep and meaningful answer, into you can only have one beauty product in your beauty bag. What does it have to be?
Oh, lipstick.
Lipstick. Good old lipstick. Yeah.
Yeah. Lipstick does.
It's amazing.
It just gives color, and yes, so definitely lipstick.
Amazing. You can have any spa treatment or experience right now. What would you have?
Right now?
Yes.
Right now, hammam, heat, ice tanks, and the heat again, and the ice tanks again, and then rubbing and exploration of my whole body, and then 2 hours massage.
Not that you've thought about it.
This is what I want immediately now.
I love it. I love the fact that actually, like, we're all just so, especially those of us in the industry, I think are just so desperate to get back on that couch and to get back into those experiences and facilities, aren't we? It's like, let me in. Yeah, amazing. Who has inspired you, or who does inspire you the most?
I don't have anybody specific because I am really fascinated by people. Yeah. I love people's stories. And you know, we sometimes go for big names, but the amazing story is just happening next door. Yeah. So I like to listen people's stories. And I am always inspired and amazed by that. And every story is different. And there is always something there for me in that story. So that is why I don't have, you know, kind of monument person. I think people and their stories inspires me every single day, every single day.
Beautiful. What's the best or worst piece, or best and worst piece, sorry, advice you've ever been given?
Okay, so the worst was, don't even try, you will never get there.
Yeah.
And the best one was, trust your guts.
Beautiful. Lovely. Perfect advice. Always follow those instincts. What was the most memorable gift you've ever received?
My son.
Oh.
My son, and when I'm saying son, I don't see 27 years old man. I see this little little creature
Yeah.
just came to me. And when I was 8 months pregnant, his head was up, legs were down. So they told me that I will have to have cesareans. And it was in Poland, in communist Poland. You didn't want to have cesareans in Poland. So I said, no, 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 it cannot happen. So I talked to him. I talked to him every day. And I was telling him, son, because I knew that it would be boy, son, I understand. Maybe you have to go through this experience of scissor, but if you don't have to, just please turn, because it will be so much easier and so much easier for you and better, and you will be with mommy straight away. And I was doing that for months, almost 3 weeks. And my doctor was saying, oh, this is ridiculous. It will never work, never work. And one night I woke up and he just turned.
Wow.
And it was high 8 months. So usually babies not turning.
Yeah, they're too full.
Turn. So I ran in the morning to my clinic and I said, check me. I'm sure he's ready. And he did. He said, yes, it's miracle. I said, no, it's not miracle. You just have to talk to your baby.
We're connected.
He heard me. So the labor was easy, really easy. And I had him with me. And yeah, this was the biggest, the most beautiful gift I received.
Yeah, amazing. I have to say, I'm fortunate enough to have had 2 of those gifts, and I hold my belly every time I talk about them, and it's just incredible.
It's incredible, no? It's and it's so much inside us that when we only talk about it, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's like almost the memory which is in every cell of our body, that memory of labor and welcoming that child in this world. And yes,
very precious. I'm very blessed.
yeah.
They say everyone has a book inside of them. My gosh, I know you do. What would yours be about?
I wrote 2 books already. I write 3rd book right now. So it's difficult really to answer that question. I always wanted to write crime novel. And I wanted this crime novel be so bloody. So bloody. It's like almost like a horror or something. And so probably, yeah, this is the book which I will probably never write. I will write different books, but this book will be in me.
I love that.
Crime novel.
I love that. Such an interesting sort of dichotomy, isn't it? With all this love and healing and they're inside, there's a bloodthirsty writer desperate to get out. It's a release. It sounds like something you definitely need to scribble away. So listening, from life in lockdown, what is the bizarrest or craziest thing you found yourself doing?
Oh, I fell in love in social media.
Woohoo!
This is something that I never, ever, ever thought will happen. I really had a deep, profound breakthrough in regards to how to communicate with outside world, how to use social media, how to use online work. That is why I created my classes. Yeah. And I realized that with these classes, because they are twice a week, they are very affordable, I can really connect with people, talk to them about touch, talk to women about the relationship with their own face, and I can reach much, much, much more women. I would never meet that women, not in my practice. I couldn't be able to do that. So I am so grateful for that, because it really changed my perspective, what is possible.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I have to say, it's so exciting for me. I mean, I've been banging the sort of online drum for about 15 years in the spa industry, and people have been a little resistant. And actually, it's so lovely now to see so many people coming up with such incredibly creative ideas to represent themselves online and to share that knowledge and insight. As you say, that, you know, those women wouldn't have had the benefit of being able to sort of hear you, of see you, and be involved with you if it wasn't for that. And technology gets such a bad press so often. And I'm like, technology has enabled me to reach people I would never have had the chance to meet, to learn and connect with people who are my peers, and, you know, that people, you know, authors of books I've read have responded back to me because of technology. You know, if all we're doing is swiping left and right or watching what people have had for dinner, of course it's a vacuum of mindlessness. But, you know, technology has such an opportunity, and I think people have realised now that we don't want to give away our real connection, but the ability to reach people in a different way through technology is really powerful.
Yes. And also, I think what lockdown gave us opportunity to use this in a much more profound and deep and meaningful way.
Yeah.
This is how I see that, because it becomes suddenly the only way of communicating with outside world, not just the prosthetic,
yes,
no, but really the way to reach others. And I think this is amazing. Yes.
And what's the biggest lesson? I mean, as much as that social media can be your friend, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from life in lockdown for yourself?
I learned how to be alone without feeling lonely.
Beautiful.
This is my biggest lessons, because I am single.
Yeah.
So I was really locked alone. And I had to learn to differentiate these two, so I can be alone without feeling lonely. Yes, this is very, very precious for me, learnings.
Beautiful. I love that. And just as a side note, anybody watching who can meet the criteria that Beata showed, then please help her. That would support your loneliness too, won't it? Now we have a checklist. I love it. What do you hope, final question, what do you hope as an industry that we've learned or will learn to do less or more of as a result of sort of living our life in lockdown?
I hope that we will really sit and question again our purpose, who we are as an industry, to whom we are in a service, what is our priority, that it's a great moment to really rethink the way how we operate in this industry. Do we really need so many, so expensive places of wellness? Maybe we can simplify facilities and focus on the quality of the service which we offer in those facilities. What I think we should do more to really start to think how to address this coronavirus in our work, because we will be challenged again with this distancing and touch and this and that. And for example, the model of shift for the therapist, which was in the past, cannot be relevant to situation now. People were working back to back. Now you will need to have time to make sure that the place is safe for your next client, you know, that everything is taken in account, that the space of mind of therapist is taken on account, because they are scared at the moment. They don't know how to operate in this new situation. They don't know, so should I touch this client or not touch that client? Should I go to my work or I shouldn't go to the work? They are very, very vulnerable. And before, they were not necessarily always listened under such a pressure of targets and recuperating the sometimes enormous amount of capital money used. So it all has to change now.
Yeah.
And I am very hoping that I have a big hope that rethinking who we really are, what is our purpose, what is our goal, why we are here, what is our priorities. Because for me, Michelle, you know, I always believe that there are 3 P's. So it's people, planet, and pound.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I think in that order, and somebody would say that I am naive or I am not touched with reality, but I do not agree with that. I believe that if we will focus so much on the profit, and not on the quality and support, we will go nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. And this is a good moment to sit and have kind of serious conversation with ourselves about that, and the possibility to change, to start from scratch almost, rather than now dramatically and hysterically trying to keep the old model. Yeah. And talk again about the how to bring money back, how to bring that high occupancy as fast as possible, without fully understanding that we are in a completely different conditions now, in a completely different environment, and we cannot just stretch existing structures. We need new ones, and it's a possibility and opportunity that in these new structures we will be more human. Yeah. Towards ourselves, towards our staff, and towards the clients.
No, I agree, and I like you have so much hope that this opportunity gives people and forces people, gives some people and forces others to reflect, to really reflect, as you say, on who are you as a business, who are you as an individual, what's your purpose individually and collectively, and who are your clients, what do they really want and need from you, and how do you do a better business. Now, you know, as everyone knows, I'm unashamed of profit. Profit is the only way any of our businesses can move forward, and we can keep the people we love and care about in work. So profit is really critical, but as you absolutely rightly say, not forsaking our people. And I think that's where people can quite often go wrong. It's how many more people can we get in, how much more money can we make, rather than actually let's focus on doing an incredible job, having real value for the people we're serving, and let's then celebrate making profit purposefully, and protecting those people, both that work for us, come to us, the planet, and everything else around it. And there's a way to have that win-win, isn't there? We see it in some of the most successful businesses, but I really do hope this is a time people reflect and use this enforced time to really look at what they could be doing better, how they could be doing it better, and that people that may not have had a voice before, whether that be the therapist, the receptionist, the spa attendants, you know, whatever, actually get a chance to have a voice and contribute to sort of how to make it better and bring it to life. Because as we know, and we've talked about, and we did at the beginning, didn't we, with massage therapists, quite often, you know, we're asking them to give so much of themselves, but yet quite often in reality, in most spas, and we're both lucky, we tend to work in the luxury end of the market, where things can be better, not always, that people are looked after more, but majority of people are still back-to-back in treatments, very little training and development, very little support, quite often not even times for breaks and whatever, and there definitely has to be a new way. And you mentioned time there, and I think that's really important. I was saying this to Nigel, I really hope we don't give therapists more time just to do more sterility, because the cleaning and hygiene should have been there already. That's standard for all the viruses that we are at risk from and presenting for in our businesses. And yes, there are additional considerations now with COVID-19, but I hope that people are giving more time in their treatments to connect on a personal level.
I agree with you, but in reality, if they would get more time for whatever reason, it would be already victory in an existing situation, because at the moment they don't have time at all.
No, absolutely.
So yes, of course, ideally, of course, to connect and to help them to recuperate emotionally from one treatment to another. Yes, this is the conversation on another meeting, because I don't understand. I still not getting the reason why the core of the spa industry, which is the therapist, is not recognized. It's almost like there is no belief really that their treatment can make such a profound change in people's life. I don't think it's fully, this is fully understand and experienced, maybe because decision makers don't go to spas too often. Maybe because they really deprived themselves from that possibility to go through the course of the treatments and feel the change in their own life. So then they cannot think or decide from that space. So for them, it's just the worker, just the number. And we know that we can change people's lives. We know that within 60 minutes, we can bring such a change to somebody's life. And if we all do that, it changes. You know, if I give you great treatment, you go home, it will impact your family environment, it will impact your community environment, it will impact your city, your country, because this is us. No, we are like drops in the oceans, humans, and our experiences. And spa has that amazing opportunity to imprint very positive experience, very positive memory, which can be building block for people decisions and behaviors. So this is really very profound what we're doing, yet it's not recognized by those who make decisions. And that is why this is where I feel frustrated, that there is no understanding of how profound that work can be. And we need that work. We need that work because we need to stay human. We need to have compassion. We need to have forgiveness in us. We need to have tolerance in us. This is very important virtues, which only can be built from very positive experiences. So, yes.
And let's hope that, I mean, wellness is at the forefront of most people's minds now, even those that, you know, wellness wasn't. So let's hope that that also drives the consumer to seek more and sort of push us maybe onto a sort of new path, a more positive path too. Amazing. Beata, listen, I could speak to you all day, and I know there's so much more wisdom you could share with us, but I am so delighted to have been able to spend some time with you, learn more about you, and have the opportunity to share your beautiful and radiant light with all of our viewers. So thank you so much for all of your time and your insight.
Vishal, thank you. I enjoyed so much our conversation, and the same, I could talk with you whole day and night and it wouldn't be even touch the surface. I am so much in respect what you're doing, and I know that we speak the same language, and I think if it will be more of us, this industry have a chance, really chance to restructure itself.
Amazing. Listen, thank you so much. Beautiful to see you. Enjoy the rest of lockdown, and I look forward to giving you a big sterilized squeeze when we come out of it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.